Hello YouTube, today I'll be showing you how to set up the FMC and the PMDG 737 NGX. In this video I'll also be showing you how to do an Autoland. First thing you're going to want to do is open up your FMC using Shift 3. So this is your FMC. One thing you may also want to do with this one is edit your fuel and stuff. So you do that by clicking FS Actions and Fuel. This is where you input how much pounds of fuel you want. Go back and under PMDG Setup, Options, Sound. This is where you can edit your sound. Okay, so with that out of the way, you're going to want to open your FMC as I said. Go to FMC tab. If you ever get NavData out of date, just click Clear. And then click on this button right here. Under reference airport, you're going to want to put the airport you're currently at. I'm at CYYC. So put that right there. Click on route. Now whatever you put under your reference airport will automatically be put right here. Now put that right under origin. My destination is Edmonton, so CYAG. I have a flight plan saved in my flight plan file for the PMDG. So I'm going to go CYYC. CYEG. Put that right here. I'm taking off of 35 left. Put that right there. Now, if you don't have a saved flight plan in your flight plan file for the PMDG, that's okay. You just click Next, and you put your flight plan right in here. Or if you wanted to fly direct, you would just enter your airport you want to fly to, and you just put that directly right here. So if I want to fly to Edmonton, you just put that right there, and then you would click Activate, but I don't want to do that, so I'm just going to place that. So now you click Activate and then Execute. Next, go to this page, click right here. This number will automatically be put in your scratch pad. This number may change depending on how much fuel you have. Put that right there. Just put in how much reserves you have, so I'm just going to say I got 2.3. Your cost index, I'm going to put 10, and I will fly at flight level 160. Click on Execute, and I'm just going to quickly put that right there. Next, go to this page. This is where you select your engine D rates. I normally don't touch this page, so I'm just going to go to the next page, to my takeoff page. Now I'm going to take off with 5 degrees flaps, so put 5 right there. Click right here. This will automatically calculate your center of gravity. It'll put this number right in your scratch pad. This will change depending on how much fuel you have. And you just click that button right again, and it puts it right in the scratch pad, and right in the center of gravity. Next, I have my trim needs to be set to 4.67, so I'm going to go down here and set my trim to 4.67. That looks about right. And then just click these buttons right beside your V1 stuff, and it'll automatically put these numbers right in there. Okay, so now your FMC is set up. You can click your init reference page and bring up this page. So your FMC is now set up. Now you're ready to take off. So now you can close this, and now you can get ready to take off. So you can open up your center console with a Shift 4, turn on your TCAS system, click the button right in the middle of your distance selectors. That button turns on your TCAS, and I like to have my terrain on, doesn't really matter. And then you can zoom out. And when you have these dots surrounding your triangle, you know your TCAS system is off. If I turn it off, they will disappear. So next I'm going to put in my speed, 250. Arm that, turn on my flight director, auto brake RTO. My flaps to 5. Make sure everything's set up. Turn on my lights. And right here on this, right here, if you click it, this will bring down your heads-up display. This really helps. It really depends on your preference, but for me, I have this when I take off because this circle right here shows where you're going, so this can help you stay center on the runway, and it also helps so you're not like looking down there. So I'll turn that back off. So now my flaps are 5 and I'm ready to take off. If you click right here, this will activate your toga. These numbers you see right here is when you can put up your flaps. So right now I can put my flaps to 1 since I'm passing the little 1 mark. Just pitch down a bit. Now I'm passing the up so I can move my flaps up. Next you can click on LNAV and VNAV. Then you can arm your autopilot, Command A. Now your autopilot's on, and I will see you guys close to my top of descent over at Edmonton. Okay, so at around 20 nautical miles up from your top of descent point, that's this point right here, you're going to want to start to set up your FMC. So go to your FMC, go to your departure and arrival, CYAG arrivals, ILS 02, that's one I'm going to land on, so I'm going to select it, and then click execute. Go to back to your routes, and you get this route discontinuity thing. Click on the waypoint below this, which is Hampo, so I'm going to click this, just click above right into these boxes right here. Click right there, and then click on execute. So now you're flying directly to the runway. Now click on DES. This is your end of descent altitude. Now you're going to want to add about 2,000 feet to this, so I'm going to put this down to 4,300 feet. Now, as you see on my FMC, it says reset MCP altitude. Okay. So I'm going to reset my MCP altitude. This is your MCP right here. I'm going to put that down to 4,300 feet. Now, as you can see, my plane is slowing down. The reason why it's doing that is because it's close to my top of descent points, and I have my VNAV engaged. If you don't have your VNAV engaged, your plane will not automatically slow down. Same thing at the top of descent. At the top of descent points, the plane will automatically start to descend. Now, if I left my altitude at 16,000 feet and I reached my top of descent points, I would keep flying past that. The plane would never descend because I'm telling the plane to stay at 16,000 feet. Your MCP is your autopilot override. It's basically what it is. So now watch, as soon as my top of descent disappears, my plane will start to descend. Now my plane's starting to descend. Okay. So a good way to check your route to see if you're actually flying directly to the runway is, if I maximize this, let's drag this down here, zoom into here, this plan thing right here. Flick this to plan. Now on your FMC, go to legs. This will bring up your routes, your active route that you're currently flying. And if you click on step, this will move to Hampo. So that's going to move to my next waypoint. And step again, that'll move to your next waypoint, and so on. This is a good way to check your route, because let's say you're on approach or something, and then all of a sudden you actually never check this, and all of a sudden your plane wants to fly to the left. Well, you don't want that. So this kind of forces you to look into your route to see, like, oh, I accidentally had this wrong, or something like that. You want your pink line to end at the runway. This end of descent should be right at the end of the tip of the runway. So with that out of the way, you can flip this back to your map. I'll zoom back out. Now it's time to set up your information. So this is your approach reference screen. First, you're going to want to select your flap speed. So my VREF, I'm going to take flaps 40 at 135 knots. Select that and enter that into the blank space right here. So now on this screen, this changed. This is my reference. This is what your VNAV is going to go off of. At this decel point right here, the plane will automatically start slowing down to the flaps up speed. So slow down to about 205 knots. So open up your nav with Shift 4. Marker, turn that on, why not? My ILS frequency is 110.30. So put that right here, 110.30. Put that over on your active side, and do the same thing for nav 2. You want to put your frequency on nav 1 and nav 2. So 110.30 on both navs. Now this right here, this CYAG002, this is just the information for your runway, and this is what you put into your heads-up guidance system. So your heads-up guidance system is right here. This is the control panel for it. So you want this to be A-arm. So you just scroll through these by clicking on the standby, and you should see AXXX arm. Those are supposed to be X's, but they don't look like it, but they're an X. Anyways, to enter in your elevation, you just click on this button right here. It says runway. Click on it once. This green light turns on, and my elevation is 3351. So I go and go 3351, enter. Now to put in your length, click this twice. The green light's back on, and it switches to length. So now let's enter my length, 10995, enter. So now your heads-up guidance system set up. You really don't need to put that in, and it doesn't really matter, but it helps. So now with your course, my course is 020. Once again, put them on both sides. 020 on both sides. So any runway, any runway you use, I'll have a little clip on the end of this video showing that if I click on a different runway, this information here will be different. The length and the frequency will be different. I'll have a clip on the end of this video showing that. So right at this decel point, your plane will automatically start slowing down, and I will see you at that point. I am now closing in on my decel point, so as soon as I hit this, as I said before, my plane will automatically start slowing down to this flaps up speed if you still have your VNAV engaged. You can shut off your VNAV, it really doesn't matter, just as long as you're controlling your descent with this vertical speed selector right here, and your speed with your speed knob. So as soon as we hit this, this will automatically go down to flaps up speed. Okay, so now my plane's starting to slow down. As I said, you don't need VNAV. You could really turn off VNAV right now. You don't need it anymore. But at this point, it's now a good time to arm your localizer with this button right here. When this green light goes on, your localizer is armed, and it will also say right below LNAV. It says for loc. That's to let you know your localizer is armed. And as soon as you cross the localizer interceptor from the runway, it would automatically switch to the localizer, and your LNAV will get knocked out, and it will select the localizer. You need to have the localizer on for Autoland, so make sure you arm your localizer. So now that this is slowing down, I can go to flaps 1. My plane will then select flaps 1. And make sure you double check to make sure that you have your flaps, your altitude, not altitude, frequency. This one, your frequency is on both navs. I'm just going to mute that right now. Make sure your frequency is on both navs, as they are, and your course is on both. As soon as you get close enough to the airport, your course may change. As you, oh, I can't. Okay, so I was on the localizer interceptor for some reason, but as soon as you get on the localizer interceptor, your course changes. So watch, if I put this back to 20, as soon as this goes green, this will change to 19. I can now go to like flaps 5. Okay, so my localizer is now active. Oh, sorry, okay. My localizer is now active, so now I can now arm my approach. That's right below the localizer. So now you can arm your approach. So now my plane is flying on the localizer beacon. It's no longer following the FMC route. It's on the localizer beacon. As you can see right there is the runway. So now I'm on, since I'm lined up the runway, I'm now on my course 19 and I can't change it anymore. So now as soon as this diamond will go pink, and as soon as the pink diamond comes right here, your approach will arm. So I'm now going to go to flaps 10. Because this diamond's pink, now my approach is now selected. Now you're going to click Command B. Make sure you have Command A and Command B engaged. So now it's not following VNav. Now you got to control everything by yourself. So remember that. Remember that you have to manually adjust your speed now. It won't do it automatically. So now you go flaps 15, gear down, slow down to your flaps 15 speed, and continually keep going down with your flaps until you hit your reference speed. So I'm going to go down to flaps 25. Make sure you arm your speed brake. Speed brake's now armed. I'm going to bring down my heads-up guidance system. I'm going to go down to flaps 40 now. And now I'm going to bring this down to my reference speed. So I'm at 135. Bringing down my speed's coming down. Land 3 came up. This is good. And now you just really just sit back and relax, and your plane should land by itself. Make sure you have auto brakes set.
1,000.
Let's switch there on. Taxi. Okay. Now your plane will automatically land by itself if everything's set up correctly. Sorry about my bird, by the way. Kind of doesn't like sitting in her cage by herself. Always chirps. will automatically adjust your elevation. Now I see right here, this says flare, so now my plane's pitching up. And now it just lands itself. Now you do your reverse thrust. Put that up. Disengage your reverse thrust around 70. Disengage. And that's how you auto-land PMDG 737. Hope you liked this video, and yeah. There are some add-ons that I really recommend this plane. I have FS Crew, but I didn't want to use that in this video because I would kind of take away from the entire Autoland thing, because my first officer would kind of be doing everything for me. So you can get FS the Crew. Oh yeah, make sure you disengage your autopilot. Right when you land, make sure you disengage your autopilot, or else when you taxi off, your plane will automatically start to shift over. Helps enhance the realism on this plane if you're looking for realism. I'll also put a link in the description for the Calgary International Airport scenery upgrade. I was using a scenery upgrade for the Calgary International Airport. It adds the new runway and everything. I'll put a link in the description for a fuel planner that I use for this plane. Also, I'll put a link for the site where you can buy the AirAC cycles for the PMDG. I'll also put a link in there for a route planner, and there will be some links for 2 sites that I use to get charts in Canada, and charts in Canada and charts in the USA. I hope you liked this video. Make sure to give us a thumbs up. See you next time. As stated earlier in the video, I said I'll put a little clip of showing the approach reference screen changing at the end of the video, so here it is. Arrival, if I select ILS 12, execute that. Same thing, just route, put this up through there. Go to the init. See, this is now 109.90. Course has changed. If I change this up, just do the same thing. Take this, put that up. Course has changed. Same thing there. So every single runway will have a different, possibly a different frequency. They might all have the same frequency, but normally the course will always change, and sometimes the length, depending on what runway, if it's the other side or whatever. But anyways, I hope you guys actually liked this video. I hope it helped some of you guys out there who actually had no clue what they were doing with the PMDG, like me when I first got this plane. So yeah, I hope you guys liked this video. Please leave a like and comment.